getting ready to work with a new trial team here in Colorado Springs in a black box theater. One of the questions that I like to ask or recommend being asked to your jurors, and we'll talk about sequencing in a different post, but for my own preference, I like to be able to ask this question sooner rather than later. Does anybody know of anybody who has experienced life-altering pain? That's all of us. Every single hand should go up on that. The next question I want to ask you is, I'd like you to think of somebody, maybe it's the same person that you're thinking of, or different, or maybe it's you, who has done their best to try to hide their pain. And all hands will go up for that. We think of the grandfather who, despite his injuries from his horrific car crash, does the best he can to wear the mask of Father freaking Christmas with his grandchildren. Despite his pain, he does his best to just be in the state of joy. And they make it easier for him. Now his family knows what's going on. The family knows the pain, but his grandchildren, and they're starting to catch on more and more, I think, but the grandchildren see a completely different side. So you don't want to say the mask in jury selection. Somebody else will. What is that? You know, it's like when you're doing your best. It's like you're wearing a mask, Mrs. Jones says. Absolutely. Please say more about that. What are they trying to hide? Because in that conversation, you're immediately setting up the victor story, and you're framing your entire case around what it is they're going to see. And what you're also going to do with that conversation is you're setting up, well, you're destroying quite possibly their greatest attack on your client. And let's just assume they're all going to say liar, cheater, malingerer, fraud, all the same thing. When you show that this is a story of a person who's trying their best to hide their pain, despite, it gets you all sorts of maneuverability to be able to tell the right story. How is your client trying to hide their pain?